What's up, my peeps? Today, I want to talk about oppression. This is something that surprisingly applies to everybody and everything. Yes, man, there is a group formed for pretty much every religion, every race, every gender. That's if you believe there's more than two genders, okay? Your sexual preference, the list goes on. And there are statistics to back every group that feels they are oppressed. You got, of course, black people. You know, we feel like we're oppressed in certain aspects in a society. You have white people, Asians, we live in a Christian nation, but what you've been seeing recently on TV is a lot of people feel like Christianity is under fire. There's like a war on Christmas. Of course, we know about Muslims. Muslims feel like they're oppressed. The list goes on. You got feminists. You have men who have groups, male activists out there. And every last one of them have statistics to back their claims. And it's very interesting to me that, when you have these statistics and you have these groups firing statistics out there, presenting a case for why that certain group is oppressed, you have to wonder who really is oppressed. Are men really oppressed? Are women really oppressed? Black people, white people, Asian people? Are we really, really oppressed? Or are we just latched on to group thinking? Okay? There is no denying racism. There is no denying bigotry. You cannot deny that, okay? You cannot deny that, there are white people that can't stand other ethnicities. You can't deny that there are black people that can't stand other ethnicities, okay? You can't deny that. That's a given, all right? But you have to wonder with the oppressed part, who really is in power to do the oppression? Like who really is standing above us to make us feel like they're oppressing us? Okay. There's a documentary that I will recommend to you people called Red Pill. Okay, the Red Pill is about male activists, and a feminist actually is the person that filmed and did the research on this documentary, and it kind of changed their mind on certain things about men. And that's really what inspired this video. I was watching it and I'm sitting there looking at it, and I'm looking at the statistics that the guys were throwing out there. And when people throw statistics at you like that, you can take them one or two ways, okay? One, you can think, damn, is this really real? And me being a man, when I'm watching this and they throwing the statistics out there, I'm feeling something. I'm like, shit. Am I oppressed? Are people really putting me under the bus? And for a man to feel oppressed, that means that a woman has to be the person that's the oppressor, the woman, okay? And if you was to say that to a woman, that you are an oppressor, she probably would laugh at you, okay? Because every dominant role in society is pretty much controlled by a man, okay? There's never been a female president, and the president of the United States is arguably the most powerful person in the world. We never had a woman in that position. Okay, so that's an argument. All right, I'm giving you an argument, and if I'm not really well versed in what these guys are, the research that they've done, and I'm pretty sure they can fire back something back at the woman. If she was to say, there's never been a female president of the United States, they probably can come with something to a nice rebuttal against that. And it just has me thinking that us as a society, group thinking really is fucking us up in a way. Okay. I'm not a person that I did a video on tribalism. Okay. And I really think that when we latch on to certain groups, that it kind of fucks us up. It makes us biased in a way. Like that whole tribalism thing was the tribalism video that I made. The whole bottom line, the point I was trying to make was that when you have that type of thinking, okay, when you're latching on to a certain team or something, it makes it hard for you to hold a politician accountable, because these politicians are making decisions for our lives, all right? But stepping outside of politics, okay, us as a people, all right, group thinking is kind of fucking us up, all right, because we always feel like there is someone above us. Now, me as an individual, just Leon, okay, I can't spew out statistics and give you all type of stats on how someone is fucking me over, okay? I have bad days at work. When I'm at work and my boss is doing some things that fucks with me or pisses me off, I can use that as an example. Maybe someone at my job is making more money than me. Okay, I don't know about that. I never dived into that. Excuse me. But, me not diving into that and just going to work and doing my job and getting my paycheck and coming home and paying my bills is working out fine for me. Okay. I'm thinking, I don't really have any solutions to the group thinking thing. Like I said, I just watched the documentary, and, this is thoughts that's coming fresh out of watching that. Okay. I really feel right now, my thoughts are going to evolve on this as time goes on. But I really feel that if we think on an individual basis, maybe, just maybe, we probably would be better off. If you don't think that, me watching someone, an African American, get beat up by a gang of white dudes, okay? And I think that's racism, okay? Say it's obvious racism. Say that these guys are like neo-Nazis and it's just obvious racism. These guys are beating up this black guy, all right? The way I've been raised and the way all of us have been raised is programmed and hardwired. The way we've been programmed and hardwired to believe it's like we put ourselves in that position. I'm thinking that that's like me getting my ass whooped by these Nazis because he's black and I'm black, okay? And you can take a white person who's watching those Nazis, say another Nazi is watching these Nazis beat up that black guy and he's cheering them on, and he's feeling like that's me beating that guy ass. That's the same thing I would do, okay? When I watch, a shooting or anything that has something to do with racism, I feel affected by it. And this is one thing let me go into politics with this. This is one thing I was researching when they have research out there with how liberals think and how conservative think. And liberals tend to think more on the lines of group thinking. We are collective thinkers, okay? When you're a liberal, you're like a collective thinker. When we see in that same example, we see a person getting beat up, we think that that could be me, or that can be my child, that can be my husband, my wife, anything like that. That's how we take it. A conservative will look at that and think, man, I feel bad for that guy. They tend to think more on an individual basis than a liberal. But at the same time, conservatives, some conservatives, okay, they still latch on to that tribalism mentality, because if they see a conservative get attacked on TV, like say if somebody's dissing Trump, if they see somebody dissing Trump, they take it personal. It's like you're attacking them, okay? I'm thinking like if we could detach ourselves from that type of thinking, maybe we would be better off. I mean, I don't want to say that that is a permanent solution. Again. This is me coming fresh off of watching this documentary, and it inspired a lot of thoughts in my head, okay? So I'm thinking that maybe we would be okay if we tend to think about me. If I think about me and I don't have any kids, but I think about my kids if I had kids, hypothetically speaking. You think about you and your kids and your family. Like, instead of thinking about a stranger being attacked, maybe we could feel bad for that stranger. A conservative seeing Trump get attacked, maybe you could just think, damn, that guy just cursed Trump out. That's fucked up. And just move on with your life, okay? It kind of, when you think about this group thinking that we have, it kind of puts a pause on us. I said in a video before about my personal experience with police brutality, okay? My cousin was killed by a cop, all right? And I told you guys that I probably won't be doing any videos about that. And recently a guy got killed in Nashville by a cop. And there's a lot of debate going on whether it was a lawful murder or not, okay? And every time I see this happen, okay, it affects me in a way. It really touches me, all right? Because I think about my cousin. Now, I think along a personal line, it would be really hard for you to have like just a individual way of thinking. It would kind of be hard for me to look at a story like that and just be thinking, or just think like, man, that's messed up for him, okay? Because it reminds me of that, all right? But if you're a person that never experienced this, and it never happened to anyone in your family, okay, and you're watching this guy and you see that happen to him and you just think, man, that's bad for him, you won't be stuck, in a ball of emotion. You will probably be able to move on and be more productive in your life. Maybe. Now, I do think that there is a downside to this individual thinking. Downsides, let me make that plural, okay? With a lot of groups and a lot of movement, we have seen a lot of movements. We've seen a lot of progress in this country because of that. Okay, we have not progressed just on individual thinking. It never really moved anything. Okay, it always took like a group of people in order to make things happen. So it can be, there's pros and cons to this. I think in your life as an individual, just living your everyday life, individual thinking will probably make you happier, okay? But if you're a person that wants change and you want society to change, things for the betterment of this country, group thinking is probably a good thing, okay? But it's pros and cons to group thinking as the examples I just laid out, okay? With group thinking, it seems like everyone feels oppressed in some type of way. You know, the first time I ran across alt-right videos on YouTube, when I went down a YouTube rabbit hole of alt-right members and a lot of white supremacists, you know, me being a black man, it first you look at it and you like, shit, you know, these people ain't shit, fuck them, they don't like me, blah, blah, blah. When they start throwing those statistics out at you, and you can try to come with a rebuttal, but some of the stuff that they say is like, shit, you know, it's kind of hard to come with a rebuttal with some of the stuff that they say, all right? And I'm sure for white supremacists and alt-right members, when black people come with statistics and they start throwing out things out there, it's kind of hard for them to come with a rebuttal like, shit, you know, okay. Like, I've seen a lot of alt-right members, even Richard Spencer, he's like the most famous one out of all of them. You know, he admitted that slavery was a fucking bad thing, okay? It was terrible, all right? And I'm pretty sure that he sees some things out here, some cases of racism, and he like, shit, you know, there's nothing I can say against that. You know, that's fucked up. But when you latch on to this group thinking, it kind of makes it hard. That's really what is causing the debate and causing the separation, because you're spewing out these statistics at one another. You're not really seeing each other's side. And then once you come to that point where it's hard for you to come with a rebuttal to somebody's case, when they present an argument to you and you can't come with a rebuttal to that, instead of having empathy and feeling sorry for that case that they laid out and that group that is suffering, you're like, let me think of another way to come with this argument. Instead of thinking, damn, that's fucked up, how can I help you with that? Nobody is thinking, how can we help each other with something that is blatantly wrong, okay? We're thinking of something else to come up with. What's our next best argument to that? That's like one of the cons to it. You know, instead of coming together and trying to fix a situation that is blatantly bad, all right, we're thinking of a way to come with a counterpoint. And it's like, how are we going to progress? How are we going to move forward in this country when we're constantly having this friction amongst groups? We're not really getting anywhere with this. And I'm saying, like, individual thinking could be a cure. You know, it could make things a little better if we just think, you know, you're James, live your life, James. You're Jane, live your life, Jane. You know, don't worry about what they're doing. Jane, a group of women are suffering, okay, but that has nothing to do with you, Jane. You live your life, all right? James, there's a group of men out here struggling, but just live your life, James, and you'll be okay. Like, what is the solution to that? Because group thinking has shown progress. It's like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back with group thinking. And individual thinking could lead to not even 1 step forward, but it could lead to more steps forward in your life as an individual. I want you to give me something on this. Okay, you tell me what can we do about this? Because I'm confused. Like I said, I'm fresh off of this video. It inspired these thoughts in my mind. If you can follow what I'm saying, I would be very, very interested in hearing what you think about it. What is your solution? What can we do to not feel like we're oppressed? All right, I'm going to leave it at that. And you guys have a good weekend. Peace.